It's not now. It is when you are suffering. Like somebody is sick. He should think that inshallah it's going to be very soon and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant him recovery. Somebody lost a family member, and instead of, having all the worst types of thoughts in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why is this happening to me? If somebody loses some money or a business is going bankrupt or something, this is the time to practice. This is the time to practice optimism, not pessimism. This is the time to have the full confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the time to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to find you a way out of your suffering. One day Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is sitting, and a lady, probably she suffered from fever or something, she was cursing fever. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam قال لا تسبوا الحمى لا تسبوا الحمى لا تسبي الحمى. Do not curse fever. Do not curse it. It's just a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to you. And we know from the other ahadith that anything happening to the believer is going to be good for him or her. And everybody knows when we are sick, how do we feel? We feel closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because we feel we are very weak. We are very weak. A couple of days ago, we used to go to our work, running, driving, full of life, and now we are just bedridden, not able to even move. So we feel that we're very weak. This is a good side of it. That you feel you are not the strongest on the face of earth as you used to think. You are very weak. So this pushes you forward to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to believe in the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you recovery, you feel thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know also that any suffering happening to us is going to be a source of good deeds for us. حسنات. كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما من مسلم يشاك شوكة فما فوقها إلا كتبت له بها درجة ومحيت عنه بها خطيئة. Any suffering, anything that's going to happen to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give you hasanat for it and remove sayyat because of it. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين الآثمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, when we talk about taking good omen, when we talk about being optimistic, we are talking about having faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, confidence and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the disposition of affairs by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He's going to choose the best for Muslims. But the problem is we might tend to see the best for us differently. Although the best for us might be somewhere else than we used to think it is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows everything. Wallahu ya'lam wa antum la ta'lamun. Allah knows, you do not know. He said in the Quran, we do not know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. So whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plans for you, you get it and you love it. And you see the good side, the bright side of it. This is what the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is teaching us. And this is something that you can acquire. You have to work to acquire. كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما الحلم بالتحلم والعلم بالتعلم. You cannot be just patient overnight. Somebody would find a lot of excuses for them. I was born like this. I was created like this. I am very tempered person. I'm not able to control myself. When I get angry, this. No. You learn it. You learn it. If you want to learn something, you go to school. You spend some effort, some time. Then you learn it. Same thing. You train yourself to a certain character, to a certain way of reacting. With the time, you will be improving and you will get it. Dear brothers and sisters, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is giving us a very clear hint in the hadith. قال من قال هلك الناس أو إذا قال المرء هلك الناس فهو أهلكهم أو فهو أهلكهم روايتان. If somebody says people are gone, people are gone, like many Muslims would tend to have this vision. Islam is gone, Muslims are gone. They are the weakest on the face of earth. They are the worst. They go down the list, very long list. Okay. But we still have a lot of positive signs to look at. Yes, we do. In front of our eyes, not talking about history, nowadays. We are not doing nothing for da'wah. Yet, we're receiving almost every week a couple of people coming to accept Islam. Right? People coming to accept Islam. We are not doing nothing for da'wah, yet Islam is everywhere in the news, on the internet, in the worst type of perspective. But still, people are able to find the truth in the middle of this mess. Islam is victorious, whether we will believe in it or not. We have to believe in it because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, إِنَّا لَنَنْصُرُ رُسُلَنَا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَيَوْمَ يَقُومُ الْأَشْهَادُ. Verily, indeed, we will give and grant victory to our messengers. It's only for the messengers? No. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and to the believers. In the hereafter? No. فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا, in this dunya, in this life of this world. وَيَوْمَ يَقُومُ الْأَشْهَادُ, and in the day of judgment. Victory is for Muslims and for Islam. So we have to have these meanings in front of our eyes all the time. Ayat from Al-Quran Al-Kareem. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, one day, he is in Mecca, suffering the worst type of persecution ever. And Sahaba, they ask Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to make dua for them. Ask Allah, pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to us. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his face will turn red. And he would, tell them that the people before you, the previous nations, some of them, the believers, the true believers, used to be cut into pieces. Cut into 2 pieces, into 3 pieces with their souls. Yet they were very firm in their faith. وَلَكِنَّكُمْ قَوْمٌ تَسْتَعْجِلُونَ. But you're trying to get victory very easy. No, be patient for a while. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Medina, and he is beleaguered and sieged. All the enemies of Islam and Muslims are surrounding Medina now. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the middle of this situation, and they are thinking about so many things. They were not even feeling safe to go and use the bathroom, Muslims. He would say that, Wallahi, by Allah, the kingdom of Qisra and Romans and the Persians, you will conquer it. It will be ours. Their treasures will be ours. He is giving them hope. He is optimistic, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, even in the middle of the hardest situations. He is giving us the example, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When we talk a lot about the bad situation of Muslims, the sufferings of Muslims, we might be pessimistic. We shouldn't be like this. We take the lesson out of any downturn of Muslims. We take the lesson, and we know that the victory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala qareeb. أَلَا إِنَّ نَصْرَ اللَّهِ قَرِيب. The victory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is imminent, is very soon. We have to have faith, firm faith in this. And we have to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لا يستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم ولا يمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم ولا يبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا. Surah An-Nur, light, verse number 55. Allah has promised those amongst you who believe and do righteous good deeds that He will certainly grant them succession to the present rulers in earth, as He granted it to those before them, and that He will grant them